Good morning everyone, it's good to see you all here. First of all, let me thank you all for coming here today. Okay, let me just start by introducing myself. My name is Raka Bintang Ariska and you can call me Bintang. For now, I'm continuing my studies at Unika Sukyo Pranoto Semarang. I took communication science class there. Hands up here who don't have a job. Okay, I will tell you that all fields of work related to the field of communications. I am here today to tell you about the importance of communications in the field of work. Suppose everyone in this room already has a job with an appropriate income. Of course, everyone will be more prosperous. Imagine if there are people who do not work. It will be a problem as well as the percentage of poverty in our country. I've divided my presentation into three main parts. First, I'm going to start by explaining what is communications. Second, I'm going to discuss the importance of communications in the field of work. Finally, I will share how work affects our standard of living. It will take about 5 until 10 minutes to cover these issues. If you have any questions, feel free to interrupt me at any time. I'll be handing out copies of the slide at the end of my talk. Based on www.bps.go.id, total percentage of poverty rate in Indonesia as of March 2020 is 9.78%. It means every day the poverty rate in Indonesia increases by approximately 1,000 people, and this figure can increase every year. Let's consider this in more detail. First, I'm going to start by explaining what is communication science. Communication science is one of the study programs which is the parent of other derivative science, such as journalism, broadcasting, public relations, and many more. What I'm trying to say is, if you choose a communication science study program, you will master several important things, such as public speaking, marketing, news writing, also videography and photography, and many more. Personally, I think, if we master one or more of these things, we can get the job that we wanted, and also according to our passions, so that we get income in a fun way. In most cases, many people just work not according to their wishes, so they feel pressure in their work. Let me give you an example. An employee of a company earns an income of 10 million per month. Of course, the money is quite large, but the income is not comparable to the employee's job test, because one of the reasons is that the employee does not work according to his passions, so he feels depressed and even frustrated because of an inappropriate job test. Just imagine if the employee mastered a science of communications. Maybe he would get the job he wanted and maybe get a better salary. Well, I've told you about what communication science is. Now we'll move on to discuss the importance of communications in the field of work. Based on tirto.id, Bappenas estimates that the unemployment rate in Indonesia will touch 12.7 million people, and this can all occur because of the lack of education and skills of our people, so they cannot get decent jobs. Let's consider this in more detail. This time, I will discuss more about the importance of communications in the field of work. The point I'm trying to make is, by mastering the science of communications, we can master several things in work, such as increasing team building, increasing productivity, and many more. It seems to me this will have an impact on our satisfaction and the company itself. Also, increase our motivation to be more active at work. As I said earlier, if you choose a communication science study program, you will master several important things, such as public speaking, marketing, videography, and much more. This is also very influential in the world of work. Let me give you an example. For example, we became a public speaker at an event with participants from various backgrounds. Certainly from there, we will get to know many people. Maybe those people will be our partners in work and business. From this one example, we can conclude that relations are the key to communication science, so that we can do business or work with other people. So much for discuss the importance of communications in the field of work. Last, now we'll move on to how work affects our standard of living. Everyone knows that the higher a person's income, the higher level of happiness of the person, and it is a fact. Where does that lead us? Of course, with a high income, one's standard of living is much better, and also, of course, we will not be people whose lives depend on other people, including in the economic field. I mean, if we work according to our passions, such as being a public speaker from learning communication science and working without pressure because we like to do it, plus if our income is sufficient, then we will live our lives better because we live what we like. Personally, I think we can also help our government to reduce unemployment, because imagine if all of us in this country have better education and skills and we are all working hard and not lazing around, the unemployment rate in our country will drop dramatically. As an illustration, let's just say that now everyone in this country has a good job and good communication skills. Of course, all sectors of life will definitely be much better. That's all I have to say about how work affects our standard of living. I am now nearing the end of my presentation. Just to summarize the main points of my talk, that in the field of work and even our welfare, communications plays an important role for your success, especially if you can master the science of communications properly. Based on the figures we have, I am quite certain that from now on, we must start to learn to communicate and learn public speaking, because it will all support our work and success in the future. We just have time for a few questions. Let me just go back to the story I told earlier. Every day, the poverty rate in Indonesia increases by approximately 1,000 people. This can all occur because of the lack of education and skills of our people, so they cannot get the same jobs. We still often encounter our people who cannot apply the science of communications properly. So it is not surprising that the numbers increase. All of us here can reduce the rate of that number just by starting to learn communications and apply it by practicing public speaking. This will support our success. Even we can help our country reducing the rate of this number. So now it's your turn. To put in the words of a rhetoric originator who can now be called public speaking, Aristoteles, he says, happiness depends on ourselves. Let me just finish with a question. If not now, more when? If not us, more who? Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.